and there are fail safes to keep them from getting uh, to keep them from hitting the ground, that will keep them in air at a low altitude so they can't hit the ground indefinitely. The last thing they would want is for somebody to actually come into contact with one of these things. But they are owned, technically, they're the property of the CIA, Central Intelligence Agency. And I don't know who makes it for them. They may contract um, uh, aircraft manufacturers like Boeing and Lockheed Martin to do this, or they may do it themselves privately. Uh, but they are very expensive. They're usually very reliable, and they're pretty nondescript. You won't see anything on there. On the the fuselage itself is very um, generic looking. There's nothing, no logo or anything like that. No indicator of who they belong to. So they're CIA. They're meant to look like that. Um, if these things hit the ground, if they fell down, total engine failure, they would. That would be very dangerous, dude. And there are, right now, for the past 2 or 3 nights, maybe, couple nights, they've been they've moved more into place over Seattle. I would say there may be upwards of like 70 to 100 right now over the area. They've moved more into place. I see them. They are. I also see at night the spotters, the surveillance ones, are flashing, alternating blue, not blue, red and green, very fast, alternating like rapidly. So what that is that's thermal. I mean, not thermal, infrared and night vision, operating super, alternating super rapidly. And what they're doing when they do that is they're scanning the area for movement, and AI is doing that. They're scanning. AI is doing a lot of that stuff. They position the stuff. They reposition them, computer programs, and they're scanning for movement in the area. And this happened before this year. They've been trying to lock down the area at night, especially. They are trying to keep people inside, and they're telling them to stay inside. I'm not sure why, but I believe that people that they use to do this, that they pay, they're not able to do so right now. That may be it. And so people are getting restless. They want their money, and they're not able to pay them because they're facing a huge budget crisis for this thing worldwide. Okay, especially around here. Now Seattle is a big hotspot, dude. I imagine that it's one of the worst cities right now for this shit. They're trying to exact total control over the city, and a big reason, most of it, is, I believe, the tech companies like Amazon primarily, Google, Microsoft. They're all here. So yeah. Also, surveillance is done by satellite on me, and by continuously passing aircraft that they use. PMCs are also used to pilot those. They pass over my house constantly. They are airliners, but they're equipped with like cameras, targeting equipment that can lock onto people. They hit me with spotlights on a nightly basis. They have little lights, that can rotate and light up people on the ground, and they hit me with those on a nightly basis as they pass. They light me up, and I could see just the light on the bottom of the aircraft like get really bright all of a sudden, and then suddenly it'll turn off or turn away. So yeah, they're always passing, and that was done as well. They freak out if they're not able to see me at all times, see what I'm doing. These spotters on the UAVs they watch me in the house with thermal. That's how they see me in my house right now. So yeah, it's really bad. They've been giving me severe heart pain and headaches too with the charged particle emitters. I can see the arcs. I can see the beams shoot past like little like blue, from the electricity flying past my face and stuff at night. I have a picture of it. I have a photo on my cell phone. I managed to get it, and it's really fast, super fast. But when if you capture it in a photo, it looks like a row of little blue balls, and those are the charged particles. Now they could make a circuit out of this. That's how they pipe it in through your through the speakers on any kind of speaker. They can run the voice to skull, the sounds and stuff like that through any kind of speaker. They create a circuit out of these charged particles. And they can even play it through the in midair, dude. They don't need a surface to do it. So that's like, it's basically like the sound waves, the radio frequency travels down this circuit, and a point is designated so that to release them in all directions or just one direction. Okay, so they can create a disembodied voice in thin air. All right, that's the level of that's how advanced they are. Now, it's gotten to the point for a while now where these stalkers on the street that come around me will see me doubled over, grabbing my heart, yelling out in pain because they're hitting me or giving me a headache. And all the time, every time, they will ignore it. They'll completely ignore it and just keep walking, get inside quickly. Same thing if I talk about like something they've done, that's incriminating, like about my mom. They'll try to eavesdrop at times. But if I say something and about what they've done, they'll go inside immediately. If they hear it, they'll be told to. Okay? So yeah, that started, they've always had my mom on Voice of the Skull since I've been alive. But even before they started using Voice of the Skull on me in 2015, they were using, I don't know what the terminology for it, but they would project these voices around me primarily, and it got to the point where they're doing it, projecting them into the walls, and I had no fucking idea what was going on. I just heard voices of people I know saying stuff, and that's the NSA database, Mystic it's called. So they have the voices from cell phone conversations, home phone conversations of everyone I know, and they've been using them on me for years, running them through filters made from these. And this is either the CIA doing this or Army intelligence programmers, but they're programmers that run the computer program. Now, a lot of the voice harassment is also done using AI. AI runs a lot of it. So, yeah, when they do use pipe the audio through speakers or play it, on the ground or in the air, that is the UAV pilot doing that. And so they need the UAVs, the hitters, and as well to coordinate that. It's gotten to the point my mom is not allowed. She is threatened with her life and with my life into not ever letting on that this is going on. No matter what, it could be happening right in front of her. She would still deny it. That's what she is told to do. Like just last night, what they did is they piped it through the TV. She was like 3 or 4 feet away from the TV in the living room. I was in the kitchen trying to read, and they piped through the TV. We would hurt your mom loudly. She was right there, and she just ignored it. We would really hurt your mom, is what they piped through. Okay? And she's like terrified of this stuff. They fucked up my car yesterday or the day before. They always do. They've done this multiple times a year since last year and the year before. They periodically render my engine inoperable. This time it was the accelerator and or the transmission they fucked up, and so now we have to fix it, pay money to fix it. I mean, it's costing us a lot of money. The damage they do using these UAVs, all right, and now I can't. They've threatened my mom and ordered her not to take me to the ER. If I, if this shit is hurting too much and it's been unbearable, dude, like the burning stuff. So, I mean, now I can't even go to the hospital myself, drive myself there if I want to go. Okay, they're keeping me from receiving medical attention. For this depression is really severe. I would check myself into a facility to be treated because my meds aren't working, all right? But I know that if I go, they will hurt my mom. They threatened to, and they've already been hurting her, more recently. So I can't. I have to stay here and protect her. It's not an option to go get help for this stuff. Alright, but I'm sick of feeling this way. I'm sick of feeling like my fucking body's on fire, my lungs are on fire, because they heat up my lungs. They use the heating inside my lungs so I can't breathe. I have asthma, and I'm not able to breathe much of the time because of them doing that. I mean, it's been unbearable. The heart pain, sharp heart pain and stuff like that, and nobody's fucking allowed to, they threaten them into ignoring it. People on the street that come around. These people, the CIA, I remember something. All these threats of rape that are forcing this female officer to repeat. No woman's gonna do that of her own accord. She's under duress. They threaten her family. They threaten her life. She faces death if she doesn't comply. No woman is gonna say the shit that she says. It's a very sick man that works for the CIA that is coming up with this shit that is repeated to me. Very sick individuals that work for the CIA, and they have a very fucking strong preoccupation, almost like obsession with rape. And they keep having her threaten to rape people that I know and stuff like that, my family, and they order that shit. One of my close friends in 2009, who they use for this stuff. This is one of the people that is involved with it. They ordered 3 men to drug her, kidnap her, and brutally gang rape her in 2009. She had to go to the hospital because she was bleeding. Like, it was so bad. That was ordered by the CIA, and she is a civilian. This is what these people have done: murder, rape, adults and children alike. These people are sick and have no regard for human life. Honestly, this whole thing was done. This whole thing was an attempt to exact world domination, world control, using these UAVs. This is worldwide, and if there's that many in this area, these are all over the world. Different governments are doing this. Governments all over the world are doing this to their own people. They've been trying to get me to flip out so they can jail me or institutionalize me. As she puts it, the intel officer, they want me to ape up, and just go ape shit. So they want me to flip out. So it's worse when I stay in here. They want to drive me outside, get me out in public, so I just flip out and shit, and they'll keep hitting me with directed energy, like brainwaving, mind control frequencies. This is disinfo. That stuff I believed about the females is what they led me to believe, and I already know not to trust what she says to me. I know that because she there's no time uh, where she really ever tells the truth to me. So that has to be done with a combination of lying and microwave mind control frequencies that were developed by the CIA and implemented by PMCs working for them. It has to be They have to use that stuff in order to get me to believe things now. And they'll have me doubting stuff. They'll have me doubting stuff that I've already established to be true. They're affecting my memory. So that stuff is real powerful. And also, alternatively, she may be at Fort Lewis McChord working for the 502nd. She may be a civilian herself, and she is, who has been directly contracted by the CIA. She may be lying to me. You know? But she claims that she is with the 308th Military Intelligence Battalion, and that she is at Fort Meade, Maryland. So, either or. Privately contracted by them or part of the military. I believe, yeah, she is military. From what I have heard from her, from what I gather. But it's also possible that she's not. All I know is she does this every waking moment. And she is hit with mind control frequencies herself. I've heard her yell out in pain. I've heard that. I don't know if I said this before, but yeah, I have. They have footage of someone being murdered, and they played it back before, audio footage. They ran it through a child's voice to make me